Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero, like defender of the fatherland, off here to A1, the one on Bocage. North it is Trojan, finally for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, the Panzerdivision here with German Infantry with 250-1.5 tanks, veteran squad leaders, stormtroopers, assault and horn fragmentation bomb in the south. It is Ashablois fighting for the British Empire. Taking on the role here of the 11th Armoured Division here with Royal Artillery, Vanguard and Commando Regiment with triple section bulletins there. No commander chosen yet. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my patron supporters. Without them and the Propagandacast would not be possible. So a big thanks to all you wonderful patron supporters. Other people enjoy the ranks by pledging on Patreon by the link in the description. Or you can donate via PayPal to support the Propagandacast as well. So a big thanks to all those who do that. And of course, just comment, like, share, subscribe. Talk about the videos. It helps out a bit as well there. So, Grenadiers MD42 for Trojan. German Infantry Commander, definitely one of my personal favorites, but one that is pretty rare to see in general. So it's nice to see someone actually make use of it here. Ashablois so far leading in with a pretty strong British opening here with a full 3 sections ready to fight for the British Empire, lads. We got the Grenadiers ready in the east here for Trojan. West side MD42 Pioneers is ready here for the Reich as well. Second Grenadier squad there on the way for him. So far, pretty spread out approach here. Pioneers MD42, they're working in tandem in the west, about to, I think, be hit here by a British hit squad here with the full 2 sections coming barreling at them like a trolley full of hot steaming tea. Fourth section on the fashion blind there, going for court here. Quickly suppressing the section, but there, of course, there's another section on the side, but no. Also gets suppressed. The incredible light there for Trojan, because the MD42 has some pretty spotty rotation on its gun there when it's actually sighted. Like, at times it'll take ages for it to start shooting, and sometimes it'll sit up in the wrong direction. Been on the receiving end of that one too many times. Fourth section there, flash your block, and initialing up here. So far, so initial successes here for Trojan, though only temporary, is ultimately no significant harm has been done to the English. In the east, taking for the section of catching that's laying down sandbags here. But once they finish, obviously, they're in a much stronger position with their cover bonus, both by being heavy covered, cause all the British infantry basically fights harder when in cover. North MD42 section again, heavy cover, not a great look there for Trojans. MD42 crew Grenadiers will try and flank up around here. That'd honestly be the better choice, but looks like it's going to try and grab the point first, leaving the Grenadiers to suffer more. Third Grenadier squad there for Trojan. In the west side, Pioneers moving in, MD42 still blazing away here. Section backing off. Ashablois still without a commander or tech. Third Grenadier squad there for Trojan. We'll have he's going to go for fourth Grenadier squad. Will he tech up? Plenty of options here for Trojan to pursue. We got Ashablois with the universal cannon. There we go. Ashablois with a hard counter-attack here. Getting behind here, Trojans Grenadiers, leaving just one Grenadier squad to now face off against 2 more or less fresh squads. Well, one of them is more like, fresh, like, something left a bit out too long in the sun. But, still good. 2 sections again, not a great engagement here, with a lot more support for Trojan. We can see the machine gun there, legging its way over there, trying to get them time along some other Grenadiers. They're coming! Oh my god, my legs, my feet are all tired. Could get a wipe from Ashablois, but no, falls a bit short here. Close call though. Nice fighting here by Trojan. Section fought there for Ashablois. West side, Pioneers busy with the flamethrower, and we got tech there after the universal carry here for Ashablois. Was a pretty high utility vehicle there. Was both an infantry transport, reconnaissance vehicle, weapons platform, and a tractor. And Trojan is teched up and in fact going for the 250-1.5 track. 2 thumbs up. Clearly part of the Panzeraufklärungsabteilung. Were used to transport the Panzer Grenadiers, so the Aufklärer specifically of a Panzer Division's, reconnaissance infantry there. Though, for the most, they weren't even like reconnaissance infantry, they just meant to support the armored cars that did the actual reconnaissance. And most of the time, they basically just serve as another mechanized infantry unit inside the Panzer Division. That's a fun fact. Typically, though, whereas you'd have like, one squad, around 1 250 half tank, instead it'd be like, one squad around 2 250 half tanks, actually. Fun fact there. Gonna use the close being right to the section, need to fall back, but still good push here. We can see Ashablois there, it's quick to turn the tables there on Trojan in the west. 250 half tank force here, the Leichter Schützenpanzerwagen, which would later in the war be discontinued to move all production of the chassis towards armored car production. Then you would also use the 250 1/2 tank. So fun fact there anyways. Popping in here, University driving forward with the Vickers case, section backing up, the Ashablois going in there with a British sledgehammer blow against the German lines. Gunny's reinforcing. Back to move in and steal the path, and then they charge in there. Bunker up being built there for Trojan. Cannon calls soonish. Start equipping the member of the veteran school to upgrade. Might also see some stormtroopers. University calls driving around here. Caught by the infantry of the Gundies, taking some nasty hits here, punching through some of the theoretical side armor. Of course, in Command 2, there is no actual side armor. Like, there's frontal and rear armor, and then basically it's like, the first half of the side is front, rear half of the side armor, then it's basically just rear armor. Command 3, of course, will have side armor as the first company of the game. AC Mark 3 and Ashablois charging at the section, pushing them back here. Diving ahead here for Deutschland. But the AC can, of course, put a pretty harsh stop to that. Until then, though, it can be a real issue for Ashablois, since without snares, they're quite vulnerable to this, in particular the lower health sections like here. Good push here, they're getting a bit caught up there in the stream. Ja! Step on it, Jürgen! I want to see the Englishman with my eyes when I murder them! Jürgen! Tone it down a bit! Straight into the base here. Utter fearless here by Trojan. He's aiming for a what? He gets the universal carry here and didn't get the section, I think. They might still get it. I think there's a good chance of losing the half-tag here. Veterans one game that with the Pioneer squad. Might lose the Pioneers as well here. Yeah. Not quite a good trade here for Trojan in here. I mean, still getting rid of the UKF is not bad, but, without a section wipe, that ends up being way too expensive. Now they just got 3 guns in before 2. Got another 250 half-tag plus a Pioneer squad. Bold, I like it. I like that dedication to mechanized infantry. But worth noting, though, he actually managed to gain most of the map for this maneuver because it pretty much pushed Ashablois entirely back. Of course, now with the AC Mark 3 out, that of course is about to change. So I imagine the AC will likely cause Trojan to cancel the 250 half-track. Like, hang on, bit hot here, so gotta keep the fluids going. But I was about to say, versus the AC Mark 3, you don't really want your 250 half-track out there if you can avoid it, because the AC will shut that down very hard. Police advancing section in the center here. So yeah, cancels that 250 half-track very understandably in response to the AC Mark 3 under Ashablois, all British command here. MD-42 against the interior prison rounds, but I think popping it right now, as it's already like dying at an incredible pace against the AC, would be an incredibly and exceptionally bad idea. Ashablois with sappers, Trojan here flooding a bit of resources, perhaps planning tier 3 rush here. Bold, very bold, but again, no guts, no glory. And we get some storms as well. They're adding the MP40s. Wunderbar. Definitely one of my favorite infantry units in the game. The Wehrmacht Stormtroopers, the MP40s can deal some serious damage, and tactical advance calls can make them even better. That said, will we planning to equip them with a Panzer to deal with the AC? That is a big question here. I'll wait. They're ready for the English to try and approach the fuel point here. And we do have a telemine. Who needs anti-tank weapons? We got the telemine to take out the AC. Beautiful there with Trojan. Ashablois clearly did not see that one coming. Neither did the armoured car. Look, Terrence, we're kings of the... Well, I suppose they won't be needing that tea then. Gerald! We don't talk about that out loud. And he's advancing sappers up on the west side here. Stormtroopers could try and sneak up in here. I mean, think about Stormtroopers, they can actually move while camouflage, but if they just stick to cover there. So theoretically, like, Trojan can just sneak up the section and get possibly a white period, but guessing Trojan's a bit occupied so far. Ashablois and the British Empire, of course, are hitting the Germans hard. Though the Germans, it is the Panzerlehr Panzer who does have a nice victory point lead here with the English of the 11th Armoured. And again, with an armoured rush, there's certainly some more potential here for some surprises for the British.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
But I have to say a tier 3 rush here in a sense with the Wehrmacht using German infantry is not a bad strategy. In fact, I've kind of been doing that a bit lately. They'll typically then go for a Panzer Grenadier squad with Panzerschrecks to act as the anti-tank element. But like with the 250 actually actually light vehicle, it's like, don't get it blown up like that. You can actually do fairly well in some situations. Meanwhile, Ashablois here responds to this by going for another infantry section. Trojan with a mortar. Well, this match is definitely going places. Also worth noting, he's actually used the Veteran School lead upgrade on the Pioneers, a rare side actually, but not bad at all since you get a 5th Pioneer, which means more DPS, but also more repair speed. Mortar almost done. There's Storms still hiding here. I feel like this is a little less efficient, just having like a 340 manpower squad that could do some serious damage to Ashablois infantry. Doing nothing, I would definitely not advise that one, by the way. Meanwhile, another push by Ashablois. Of course, worth noting, sections have been bolstered, so they're definitely fairly plump and ready to assail the German positions here. West side here, Sappers caught, but the Grenadiers being ripped apart here. Stormtroopers still waiting there. Probably looking to see if they can't find some stashed away bottles of wine or something. Section causing trouble here on the right flank. I mean, so far, though, Ashablois is definitely getting more resources than Trojan for the most part, but Trojan is definitely not making it easier for Ashablois. And Ashablois is absolutely going out there with a 6th and a 5th section. That's a 6th section. Wow, that is highly unorthodox. Also with grenades then. That is bold, brazen, and very cheeky. Absolutely just squeezing it out there. And certainly having a lot of infantry in the field can definitely give you some map presence and map control here. So definitely I think it's going to force Trojan to start, like, making use of that Stormtrooper squad here. This is some pretty brutal tactics and strategy being employed here by Ashablois. Very rare to see that. Definitely not one I would advise the average player. But it's something else for sure. It is something else. But still no commander. Also, you do have to wonder, like, I guess they'd have to go for commandos maybe, because, like, with that you kind of, like, get, the assault ability, which, you could really leverage well with, like, 6 5-man sections. We'll have to see, though. I don't think any veteran squad. Okay, there we go. Finding something for the Grenadiers there. Like, I know they was for the Pioneers, but, why not also upgrade the Grenadiers was sort of my big question here. Grenadiers catching the section on the eastern side, pushing it back. With some well-placed rifle fire. In the west, we've got the section with the Pioneers here. Straight into the MD-42 here. Ashablois sappers are met with a dire volley of fire. There we go. Mortar could be trouble here. The section with 14 enough. No grenade here, but probably they repositioned the mortar before that. In fact, or they're just looking to take to deal with the machine gun, prioritizing that over the mortar. Not actually a bad idea at all, because see the Pioneers about to go out. I mean, that's a massive throng of British infantry here. The Pioneer chances of finding this, I would say, are fairly low. That's helped out the machine gun back to special sections a bit there, and somehow the Pioneers actually make it. Good lord, the luck on that fellow. In the south here, the fuel pond claimed here, the German Grenadiers pushing back their depleted section. Close call there. Stormtroopers by finally getting a move on here for Trojan. Guess he finally remembered them. The camouflage was simply too good. Oh, full wipe there. Double grenades. Ashablois wanted those Germans dead. But sir, 2 grenades. Might I not? No, all of the grenades. Yes, sir. So Paul Communal and the Trojan going to be rushing out the Pentacle. Of course, Ashablois in the current strategy, of course, has a bit of a significant, gap in capabilities, since Ashablois currently has 0 anti-tank weapons. No 6-pounder guns, no Piats, not even 18 there, got more grenades here. Really looking to get some wipes in here on Trojan here, and there we got another Grenadier squad wipe. That's 2 Grenadier squads wiped out. Trojan is down to 1 Grenadier squad and a Stormtrooper squad right now. That Panzer IV is going to have to do some intense lifting here for Trojan. That's going to basically, like, become the Atlas of this Germanic world. Meaning, like, if Ashablois like to just stop that with a pair of anti-tank guns, Trojan could very well be up Shice Creek without the paddle. There we go, the Panzer IV. Their mortar crew being caught here by the massive section blob here from Ashablois and the British Empire. Remember, lads, just like at the Somme. Didn't we lose that one? No! I don't think so. Passchendaele, stop it! You're trying to jinx this, aren't you? Quick smoke grenade here. I think that's just to basically just stall here against the section more than anything. And it seems to be working here for Trojan. It does seem to be working. Ashablois takes the bait. Is worried something's hiding behind that smoke. Something big, ugly, and obviously German speaking. Panther 4, they're almost done there for Trojan. So the this actually worked out for Trojan. The bluff worked as you blast back off the section, which means the Panzer IV has time to arrive. You got more grenadiers there. No Panzer Grenadier Stormtroopers though.
Enemy threatening a
Section
capture
up eastern
point.
side of Ashablois, and straight into some explosions here in the west. And there, oh, we do get commands by adjustment, smoke rate, and assault here. Poof. Massive wall of smoke here. Ashablois on the offense once more for the Empire. But, again, significant capability gap. They at least do have a 6-pounder gun out of Ashablois. Smoke being deployed all over the place here. Messing now with Trojan. Ashablois showing that he too knows how to smoke them. And there we go though. Gets a wipe then Ashablois. Full section got well smoked by the Panzer IV. 6-pounder gun straight for the Panzer IV's armor. No mercy. Grenades on the MU-42. Smoke continued to rain down here, but the Panzer IV's going to go for the sections. It's going to be a massacre. Good lord, they're just being crushed. The mechanics are going to have to just power hose the Panzer IV's tracks for that one. Well, I'm sure they'll just make the crew do it for them. Come on! They killed all those Englishmen. Yeah, in the most inefficient and messy way. Here's the horse. Good luck. Another 6-pounder gun there for Ashablois. No tech yet for them.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take
Gunny's
one
at the
of
centre. I mean, this is an absolutely thrilling match in a lot of ways. I mean, Commando versus German Infantry. Hordes of sections, Stormtroopers, veteran grenadiers, smoke rate up. I haven't seen this ability used in years.
gun you ordered is
Years. I mean, this is almost as exciting as Company is 3. Almost. Almost. Ashablois will need to take up soon here versus Trojan, but Trojan has managed a stunning reversal there despite suffering intense losses. And now we get Assault in the Hold too, which besides being an offensive buff with increased action and received action bonuses, they also grab points faster. So this can allow Trojan to make some pretty great advances here as well. Of course, we got a massive throng of infantry. Ashablois is lining up for another assault here for the British Empire, and these are nifty to retreat here before that they get absolutely just slaughtered here by the sections. West side here, we got Mortified and the Sapper Storms running out there. Apparently, oh, that's the Assault and Hold they activated. For some reason, I thought they popped Tactical Assault Advance. And the Sappers just wondering why the Germans could sort of keep shooting at them, just repositioning a bit there. Swinging hard here, Ashablois in the offense. Still no tech there for Ashablois, though. Still no tech. And there goes Stormtrooper going for the Sappers. There go Tactical Advance and the Mortars do the job, leaving Ashablois deprived of their sappers in the face of the German Reich, the Panzerlehr Panzerdivision. More sappers there for Ashablois, as Ashablois is probably trying to dodge some complaints there from good old Monty. Look, I'm trying to advance, it's just these Germans are shooting at us. Oh, they're shooting at you? Well, lardy bloody da, shoot back, you nitwits. Oh, I hate Montgomery. I heard that. Balls. Anyway, Sappers on the way there. Really need to take up pinging for some armor here. Good for the sections here. Bit of skirmishing MD-42 flying to the section there. Pushing up west side here with the sections. Sappers following up here. 6-pounder guns under survey ready to, of course, try and deflect any German armor assault and preferably destroy it. But a bold strategy, but charging again just one Panzer IV into tier 4. But again, so far, Trojan has very much been a man of bold strategies and bold tactics. I mean, to be fair, it's working out pretty well for him. So, like, you know, I suppose you shouldn't be, like, you know, too critical at this stage. He's certainly entertaining. Grenades off. His storms are pushing forward to section in trouble. But so does his partner guns. Now the sections is gone. Panzer IV, they're diving off here to avoid further firepower from the British Empire. And east, the section coming up the flank there. Still no tech from Ashablois. I feel like this is starting to get very, very dangerous for the British player. Meanwhile, we got an Ostwind for Trojan. So apparently thinking, you know what, I don't actually need tier 4. I just need an Ostwind now. That's actually not a bad logic. Panzer IV fires away there. Veterans 1 gained. Mortar there with 3 kills. Veterans 1 close to Veteran 2. East side, the veteran is hung against the section there. Dug in, ready to shoot down some bloody Huns. Ostwind flak panzer almost done for Trojan and the Panzerlehr. Jürgen there drops dead. Quick rough going against the section there. Tech finally happened there for Ashablois. Finally. Bit more skirmishing. Ostman there, almost ready here for Trojan. Fresh Grenadier push here. We got almost all the Grenadiers upgraded now. Mortar fire almost right in the section. Also at this point, Trojan's almost got like full doctrinal bingo with German infantry. At this point, all they need is a fragmentation bomb. They'll have it. That's like amazing. Punish the sections here. Sappers, of course, at the ready. Good charge in. Tech fine down there. Ashablois could go for Cromwell now. They also decided to want to go for Firefly. I wouldn't say that is an entirely bad idea. Panther 4, they need repairs. We got the Ostman flak panzer at the ready here. And we got the air supremacy operation ready here for Ashablois. Ready to pull a bomber Harriers on the Germans anytime now. Storms are creeping out the eastern field point there, seizing it for the Reich. Flak panzer on the move. Panthers 4 there receiving the most needed repairs. Lining up for pushing the fuel pump with the Stormtroopers and the Ostman combo. I think any infantry check here without any armoured support is going to be painful. And Ashablois going for hammer attacks is going to move straight for a Comet, putting all their faith in the finest and most advanced of British technology. Oh, does this one have a tea kettle built into it? No, that's later in the war. Actually, after the war. Oh. Yes, the British did actually build in a tea boiler into the tanks after the war due to the whole Villiers Bocage thing, where, you know, they actually stepped out to boil tea outside of the tanks and got ruined by a certain Wittmann. They go push for the 6-pounder gun here, and of course they got the still Stormtroopers. He was not ready for a grenade off here. Mills bomb at the Stormtroopers. Got him. That was really close there for the Stormtroopers, though. They can't really move easily with it. For something called tactical advance, there's not a lot of tactical advancing on it. He's mostly shooting a lot. That doesn't sound nearly as cool, you know, just shooting a lot, or daka, daka, daka. Anyway, section pushing forward here. The Ostman 6-pounder gun calls ready to follow up here. And we got assault and hold again here for Trojan up for counter attack. And there we go, swings from the Panther 4 here as the Ostman's been pursued by the 6-pounder guns here. Diving in for Deutschland. Kinda like the infantry acting not quite ready for this. Ostman's now diving in here. A furious counterattack here, but Trojan catching the anti-tank guns out of position with the Ostman and the Panther 4. A devious maneuver here, an excellent armored assault here from Trojan, and Ashablois is clearly not ready for this. The Germans blitzkrieging. What is this? The Second World War? Oh yes, Terrence, it is. Oh. All the way though, both anti-tank guns there. Swept clear of the crews in a decisive panzer push here by Trojan. I'm sure would bring a light smile to Guderian's face. And wrecking the anti-tank, we've got Ashablois now with more anti-tank guns, which will definitely delay any comets Ashablois might be planning or scheming here. So yeah, brutal. And I think also definitely good punish here for Ashablois under current circumstances, trying to go straight for the comets, they're just pushing for any sort of like armor more out of the box of the company command post. But again, this is actually in many ways a bit of an atypical assault here, unless of course you're me to, like, you know, dive in like that when you sense an opportunity like that. But again, which is probably to a degree what I'd expect, because again Ashablois just didn't see it coming. Like, you know, most of our players will not do like that, despite, you know, in reality they really need to a lot of the time. So thumbs up, in fact 2 thumbs up to Troy. I mean, that was just a beautiful assault. The course requires a bit of understanding of the tactical situation, a good sense of your opponent's force of doing this, and just blindly charging in can be very dangerous. But when you got like a decent idea, or where the opponent's in tank attack, you just like zoom, go swooping in and really wreck them. And these flak panzers there, 9 kills, with 1 Panther 4 nuclear repairs again. Second charging 40 for Ashablois. Almost got the fuel for this Comet, but again, the manpower right now is where things are getting kind of uncomfortable for Ashablois. And again, this kind of strategy in some ways can be really nice so when the opponent can see really had some success against Trojan, but after a certain point, if your opponent brings in a lot of armor, you really run into the issue of just bleeding out pretty aggressively. So there's definitely like a strategy with an date of expiration to the sense, if you will, And that's kind of, I think, what Ashablois run into here. Like, without any significant, like, armor support here, Ashablois' infantry is very much toast. Like, had Ashablois just run out of Cromwell or Firefight support, I think the infantry, I think this worked out a lot better for Ashablois. Again, like, a lot of infantry backed up by tanks is very powerful, but a lot of infantry without tanks, against tanks, is not very powerful. So, very dangerous regime for Ashablois. Not game over, obviously, but definitely pretty precarious. And could, in some ways, you know, go very sideways very quickly. We see there now, Ashablois has learned their lesson. They're mining now. They're expecting it's a blitzkrieg. Look at this, we got mines. Yeah, it's like just out of us. We'll stop the Germans there. Wait, we didn't stop them there, did we? Dunkirk. We definitely didn't stop them there. Operation Battle Axe? No. Oh. Meanwhile, Trojan with the Panther. A Panzerkampfwagen 5. MD4 defying where they're close to Vetting 3. Popping the Insigniam Pitman as well there. Thumbs up. Southeast, we got the gunners ready here for Trojan section. Sappers heading eastwards here. We got 368 versus 167 pushing for the victory point. Panther there almost done for Trojan. Meanwhile, Ashablois is getting close to the Comet, but there's still time to go. Until then, Ashablois' infantry is very much target practice for the German panzers. But there you go, Ashablois finally managed to, like, you know, persuade Monty to send in one of those fancy Comet tanks. So there you go, Panzerkampfwagen 5 gefechtsbereit there for Trojan and for the Reich. Comet there, 1/3 of the way done there for Ashablois, and until then again they are very much at the mercy of the German Panzerwaffe, which is not exactly known for its ability to be merciful. Quite the opposite. Good shot there, right through the Panther's front armor, close to 82. Comet though is almost ready here. More mines. I mean, they're definitely like expecting now another, like, you know, blitz star push here from Trojan. Of course, having mines down there is going to be very crucial to stop that kind of attack here. So Ashablois, of course, is quick on the uptake in that regard, at least. And of course, Trojan, of course, will then be more smarter with their blitz attacks going forward, to at least have the minesweepers nearby. There you go. Comet out here for Ashablois and the British Empire. Ready to take the fight to the Germans. Unless the German takes the fight to them. Oh, the Stomps are spotted here. Brandhandgranate off. And Ashablois pushed there, so full of confidence is now full of dead Englishmen. Panther Oxford in reserve in the right flank. Panther 4 there. 982 seems to be almost used as bait here to allow Trojan to, like, launch a flank assault here against Ashablois, which is tactically very bold here by Trojan, but not necessarily wrong. If you got the nerves for it, like, you know, again, the tactical foresight, you can actually make this work. And of course the skills. And so far though, the rest of the armor is not reacting. Gotta react soon though. There you go, Ashablois charging in there. Perhaps trying to repeat here what Trojan did, but instead gets the Comet. Panther faster here. Panther is still not moving though. Is this intentional? Is just Trojan like a bit overextended? I don't know. Machine there being pushed back here as well. Mortar in trouble. Need to retreat those sections soon. Now we got the Panther. There goes straight to the 6-pounder gun there. Great shot there for the frontal armor. The Panther. The Panzerkampfwagen through there. Not able to shrug it off. Another shot there. The Panther is taking intense damage. Almost got the MD42 here. Another penetrating hit there. This 6-pounder gun is just on fire in the non-literal sense. Back hit reinforcing healing. Comet being hauled back for repairs. The engine has seen much better days. Sergeant, I don't think the engine's supposed to be on fire. Wow, that's a problem, isn't it? Panther 4, Panther unit repairs. Alongside the Comet. Veteran is pushing forwards here for the Panzer Division. Prioritising the Panther in this case. Obviously, Trojan at this point may want to consider another Pioneer Squad to expedite repairs. Obviously, though, again, Fireman Punch with mines can do it fast. This trench is being dark, but several members die out here before they can pop into the trench. And this actually now means Trojan can occupy the trench against the English. More trench being dark here. Ashablois really starting to get a bit bunker-minded here against the Germans.
Enemy have destroyed a forward position.
Looking to, I think, you know, somehow bleed the Germans out. The problem is, though, Ashablois doesn't have the victory points for it at all at the moment. Like, they need to, like, you know, go on the offense. So trenches, I think, should absolutely be the last thing here that Ashablois is kind of considering, unless they're, like, on the other end of the points here, so they, you know, they can actually defend the points with the trenches. Like, right now, they need to take the trenches in the first place back.
We've 75 points left.
But certainly having 3 armored pieces here also means, like, Trojan can cover, like, the victory points fairly well here as well. And we even got a Panzer and the Stormtroopers. Now, going to be bombarded with a Comet, and it's 77 on the gun. Here we got a 6-pound gun more here for Ashablois. We got 64 there, points to go, machine gun bombarded. In the center here, we got the section as the Grenadiers here. Quick melt bomb there being flung at the Grenadiers there. Getting poor Dieter murdered. Panther shoots, misses the Comet here. Comet turns the favour though by actually hitting and not missing. 6-pound going up here. Moving for the centre point, we've got 49 left here. Machine gun flank to the section. Comet bounces. 6-pound gun at the ready here. Sappers moving forward here. Panther takes an nice hit. Comet another hit here. Osman on the flank here doing nothing. Guessing he forgot about it. Panther being pushed back. A section pinned down to the ground here. Got the centre, got the Storms for their close 32. And we got the machine pushed back here as well there. Ashablois has for now seemingly restored some measure of order, at least some control of the victory points against Trojan. But can they maintain this control and can actually expand this control against the Germans? That is a big question right now for Ashablois. Can they do this? But I have to say, Trojan games, like, you know, A, been quite interesting, but he's also been quite successful, I think, in part just, you know, I think fairly, you know, unorthodox tactics and strategy in terms of just going German infantry, but also playing very aggressively, which is honestly also how I have to play the Wehrmacht, honest. Since just, the Wehrmacht, like how it's designed and balanced, really doesn't work as a defensive faction, unfortunately. We got 353 versus 30 here, Grenadiers pushing forwards here. Great shot there from the Comet, 8 kills, half HP 22. They want to pop grenade in advancing Grenadier. Multiple grenades even. No grenades here for Ashablois due to a shortage of munitions. But there you go, grenade off here. Oh! Close call there for Trojan. I'm surprised that I did not result in a wipe there, honestly. Is Ashablois going to transfer off another Comet here versus Trojan? Or will it be just Cromwell or Firefly here? I mean, there's an argument here for another Comet, obviously, but at the same time, the question is, can Ashablois afford to save up that much manpower and fuel with only 30 victory points left? It's sort of a pretty big question. Here we got explosions here. Panther pushed back, almost got the point in sense of neutral, but no. Ashablois' brave infantry section members narrowly put a stop to this. More to the 9 kills. We got the section on the west side here. Ashablois getting bolder, more aggressive here. To the extent they have to get more aggressive and bolder at some point. And we got assault hold here. Trojan getting ready for a glorious push for Deutschland. Perhaps. More to push back. Panther moving forward here. Backed up by our veterans Grenadiers here. West side here. Osman. Panther remaining reserve here. Waiting perhaps for another opportunity here for Trojan to do some heavy damage. Rush in the center here. Comet pulling further back here. Grenade would be great here, I think, for Ashablois' section. Comet shoots, almost wrecks the cover of the section. Forcing retreat here. Center being quickly grabbed here thanks to Assault and Hold here. Again, really powerful ability in a lot of ways and very overlooked, I feel like, in the Wehrmacht metagame alongside German infantry. Easily a section alone helping attack by the Pioneers. The Pioneers with Assault and Hold might actually be able to beat the section with that little health in, particularly not quite getting good cover bonuses. Mine goes on the Grenadiers here. Unit wiped out now. A 6-pounder gun crew there at that. Section actually beats the Pioneers. 6-pounder gun crew. Panther shot there. Punches through the Comet's frontal armor here. The situation is quite dire for Ashablois here and the British Empire. The 11th Armoured are being pummeled, and there we go. We got a full doctrinal bingo with a fragmentation bomb caught in the anti-tank guns here. A full cache of explosives, wiping both anti-tank guns and a nearby section. Ashablois is being bled dry here. This is absolutely punishingly brutal play from Trojan. Ashablois is very much, I think, dead in the water here now. All victory points falling control here of the German Reich. Ashablois' forces are being decimated. They don't have the manpower for more armor or anti-tank guns. And the German Panzerwaffe is ruling the field alongside a rather large cadre of fairly, well, you know, veteran German troops. 9 points left here for Ashablois. got the Comet too, and I think with that, Ashablois is
The enemy destroyed
toast. So there you go, GG, game over. A loss here for Ashablois, a victory for Trojan, a victory for German infantry. Quite an interesting fight here, but I think a lot of great elements here. Ashablois definitely, I think, was blindsided by a definitely not store-bought strategy here with German infantry. Some bold tactics, bold strategies, and otherwise just aggressive play there. So, hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment. Consider donating or pledging on Patreon. This is Imperial LinkedIn. Cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.